made clear to the people that needed to know that the New York Knicks were the only team that he wanted a potential trade to.
And as long as I'm here, I'm going to give everything I have.
The New York Knicks are on the verge of doing the unthinkable. A massive trade bombshell is brewing behind closed doors, one that could either catapult the Knicks into championship contention or shatter the franchise into chaos and controversy for the next decade. Insider sources say the front office is done waiting. The patience is gone, the smiles are fake, and behind the scenes, there's pressure mounting like never before. A deal is being finalized as we speak, and the names involved will leave you speechless. We're talking all stars. We're talking franchise-altering assets being thrown on the table in a desperate move to seize the moment. The Knicks are betting it all, and the stakes have never been higher. Leaked calls, mysterious closed-door meetings, cryptic social media moves from players, red circle, and a trade that could involve one of the biggest names in the NBA today. But here's the real twist. It's not just about who the Knicks are bringing in, it's about who they're willing to give up. Because if this trade goes through, a fan-favorite star could be gone forever, and the backlash, it might burn Madison Square Garden to the ground. And you won't believe which top-tier superstar is rumored to be eyeing New York as their next home. Backhand index pointing right, buckle up, because what's about to unfold isn't just a trade. It's a franchise-defining power move that could shake the entire NBA. Collision, this isn't a rumor anymore. This is a warning. The trade is coming. The Knicks are ready. But are the fans? Keep watching, because once we tell you WHO's involved, you'll understand why the internet is already melting down. They say history repeats itself. And for the New York Knicks, that history has always walked a thin line between hope and heartbreak. For decades, this franchise has lived in the shadows of its former glory, teased fans with glimpses of greatness, and then crumbled under the pressure. But behind the glittering lights of Madison Square Garden, a storm has been brewing for years. One filled with frustration, front office feuds, failed superstars, and a desperate hunger to finally matter again. And now, that hunger is about to erupt into one of the most dangerous trades in franchise history. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to when the Knicks were the punchline of the NBA. When Stephen A. Smith would lose his mind on national television. When fans would show up wearing paper bags over their heads. When season after season, the Knicks promised change, only to deliver mediocrity at best and catastrophe at worst. But something shifted. The moment Leon Rose took over as team president, a silent war began. No more gimmicks. No more aging stars past their prime. No more overpaying for washed-up names who couldn't deliver. Rose wanted to build the right way, slowly, strategically. And for a while it worked. Draft picks, cap space, a promising core. Players like R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Mitchell Robinson gave the city hope. And then Jalen Brunson. That changed everything. The signing of Brunson wasn't just a smart move, it was a franchise reset. A declaration that the Knicks were finally thinking like contenders, not clowns. Brunson quickly became the engine of the team. Gritty, fearless, clutch. And suddenly, New York had a reason to believe. With Julius Randle playing like an all-star again and Tom Thibodeau pushing a defensive identity, the Knicks made noise. They made the playoffs. They won a series. It wasn't a title, but for a tortured fan base, it was the start of something real. But success has a funny way of changing people. Because now, just a year later, patience is running thin. Other teams are stacking stars, and the East is a battlefield. And the Knicks, they're good, but not good enough. Not yet. And that's where the trade rumors begin, because the front office has seen the writing on the wall. This core has potential, but without one more big piece, it's not going to be enough. The Knicks need firepower. They need a killer on the wing, a star to take over games, and a name that terrifies defenses in the playoffs. And according to insiders, they've already found him. But here's the part that's tearing the fanbase apart. To get him, they may have to give up the very soul of this team. Imagine watching R.J. Barrett, the homegrown hero, the third overall pick, the future face of the franchise, pack his bags and walk away. Imagine trading away the chemistry that made this team click. Imagine throwing away draft capital, young talent, and even locker room stability, just for one shot at a title window that might slam shut just as fast as it opens. Yet that's exactly what's on the table. Whispers out of the Knicks front office suggest they've been aggressively pursuing a trade for a disgruntled star. A name that's been floating around for months. And no, it's not just a role player. It's not a backup point guard. This is someone who, when healthy and motivated, can take over a franchise. Some believe it's Zach LaVine, others think it's DeMar DeRozan, but the most shocking name, the one that's got Madison Square Garden buzzing, Donovan Mitchell. Yes, you heard that right. The Speedo is back on the Knicks' radar, and this time, they're not playing it safe. Sources say New York is prepared to offer multiple unprotected first-round picks, young assets, and at least one starter to land the all-star guard. And here's where things get even messier. Mitchell wants to be a Knick. He's made that clear in private conversations. He's always dreamed of playing in New York, close to home, under the brightest lights. But this isn't just about basketball. This is about legacy, about pressure, about a team that's tired of waiting and a city that's starving for glory. If the Knicks pull this off, they won't just be making a trade, they'll be changing the trajectory of the entire franchise. And the fans, they're split right down the middle. Some are begging for this deal. They want the star, they want the sizzle. They want a real chance at the finals. Others, they're terrified. They've seen this movie before. They remember Karl-Anthony. They remember giving up too much too soon. They know how fast it can all collapse. So here we are, the calm before the storm. A massive trade is being finalized. The phones are buzzing. The agents are talking. And deep inside Madison Square Garden, decisions are being made that will haunt this franchise for years to come. And just when you think this story couldn't get any crazier, something happens that throws everything off the rails. Ready for the first twist? The Knicks thought they were in control. They thought they had it all figured out. The assets, the leverage, the plan. But then, just as the front office was preparing to finalize the deal of the decade, everything imploded. It started with a mysterious leak. Out of nowhere, a private conversation between Knicks GM Scott Perry and a Western Conference executive found its way into the hands of an anonymous NBA blogger. The post was cryptic but explosive. Don't be surprised if the Knicks send Barrett and Grimes in the same package. Mitchell deal closer than anyone thinks. Garden about to go nuclear. Bomb eyes within minutes, NBA Twitter went into full meltdown. Reddit threads were exploding. Fans were foaming at the mouth. This wasn't just a trade, it was a sacrifice. RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes, two of the Knicks' most promising young talents, gone. And worse, this wasn't coming from ESPN, it wasn't coming from Woj or Shams, it was underground. It felt dangerous, illicit, real, and then it happened. Julius Randle, the current face of the Knicks, posted a cryptic black and white Instagram story. Just one word, loyalty. No caption, no explanation, no context. The timing, right after the leak. Suddenly, fans began speculating. Was Randle furious that he wasn't consulted? Did he think he was about to be traded? Was there already drama in the locker room? And then came the real twist. Later that night, a private burner account allegedly linked to one of Donovan Mitchell's family members started liking tweets that trashed the Knicks organization. Tweets that read, "Knicks stay fumbling every chance at greatness. Don't let NY media fool you, Mitchell don't want that drama. They'll ruin him like they ruin everything." People couldn't believe it. This was the same player who was supposed to be eager to come to New York. The same star who grew up in Westchester, idolizing Knicks legends. Now his own family's out here casting doubt. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because hours later, RJ Barrett's camp fired back. A source close to Barrett accidentally leaked a group chat screenshot to a New York sports journalist. The screenshot? A message from RJ to a close friend. "If they trade me now after all I've done, that says it all. Never was their guy, just a placeholder." The backlash was instant and savage. Fans flooded Knicks' social media pages with comments like, "Trade the front office, not RJ. This is why no stars trust this franchise. You build around your core, not toss it like garbage." Meanwhile, Mitchell Robinson threw gas on the fire with his own post. Loyalty? Nah. Business? The locker room wasn't just shaking, it was cracking. Behind the scenes, things got ugly. Internal sources whispered of heated arguments between players and management. Apparently, Thibodeau himself had confronted the front office, furious over losing control of his guys. He built this team on hustle and trust, and now management was gutting it in the name of stardom. It wasn't just drama, it was war. To make matters worse, a rogue sports agent posted a now-deleted tweet suggesting the Knicks were in talks with multiple teams simultaneously. Not just the Cavaliers for Donovan Mitchell, but also the Bulls and the Raptors. The Knicks weren't just trying to make a trade, they were playing everyone. That tweet, "Knicks about to screw the pooch. They're promising the same picks to 3 different teams. This is about to get messy, real messy." And messy it got. The Raptors leaked their own version of the trade discussions, claiming that the Knicks were offering a similar package to land OG Anunoby instead of Mitchell. meaning even the target of the trade wasn't secure. That was the final straw for Knicks fans. They weren't just angry, they were betrayed. It wasn't just about RJ. It wasn't just about Mitchell. It was about the Knicks once again being the most dysfunctional franchise in the NBA, dressed up in false hope and glittering promises. Suddenly, all the optimism from last year. Gone, the playoff success. Forgotten, the new culture, exposed as a lie. And just as the fan base braced itself for this chaos to settle, a second twist shattered everything we thought we knew. Because while all eyes were on Donovan Mitchell, another star had entered the chat. A player no one saw coming. A player whose name hasn't been publicly linked to the Knicks in months. A player who has championship pedigree, global appeal, and a history of drama that could ignite New York like a lit match in a gas chamber. And he's watching, waiting, and ready to make his move. Want to know who? While the Knicks were dancing with Donovan Mitchell and juggling offers behind closed doors, someone else had been quietly monitoring the chaos. Someone who thrives in turmoil. Someone who's been here before and knows how to exploit it. Then, just as the RJ Barrett backlash reached a boiling point, the name dropped like a nuclear bomb in an unverified Twitter thread that gained 12 million views in under 3 hours. Fire sources out of LA say LeBron is quietly pushing AD toward NYC, Knicks about to pull a Lakers heist. Eyes open. Number Knicks trade Anthony Davis. Yes, that Anthony Davis, the 8-time All-Star, the 2020 NBA champion, the towering force of dominance and injury. At first, fans scoffed. No way, Davis. He's the Lakers' last stand, their only hope post-LeBron. But then the clues started piling up. An ESPN reporter tweeted out a shocking observation. AD's camp hasn't denied the Knicks link. LeBron skipped media availability. Something weird's going on in LA. Then came the real kicker. LeBron James unfollowed the official Lakers account on Instagram. Within 15 minutes, multiple burner accounts began circulating alleged audio recordings of a private convo between Davis' agent and Knicks brass. He's done playing second fiddle. He wants to be the guy again. Let's get this done before the deadline, quietly. The internet lost it. If true, this meant the Knicks weren't just trying to land Donovan Mitchell anymore, they were building a super team. Brunson, Randall, Mitchell, and now, Anthony freakin' Davis. But here's where things go nuclear. The Knicks didn't have the assets to land both Mitchell and AD, unless they completely gutted the roster. And that's exactly what insiders say they were preparing to do. Forget Barrett, forget Quickly, forget Robinson. The Knicks were about to trade every young player not named Brunson to make it happen. And the response? Explosive. Knicks legend Walt Clyde Frazier reportedly told a friend, "They're mortgaging the soul of the team for Flash. This ain't how you win in New York." A former assistant coach leaked an anonymous quote. "Leon Rose is panicking. He's scared this team peaked. He wants to go all in now, no matter the cost." And on Reddit, a viral theory emerged claiming this entire trade frenzy was orchestrated by a shadow marketing team hired by the Knicks to distract from an upcoming lawsuit involving MSG management and illegal surveillance. You think it's a coincidence all these leaks are happening at once? This is smokescreen warfare. Wake up. Meanwhile, back in the real world, players were starting to crumble under the pressure. RJ Barrett was visibly distracted during a pre-game warm-up. Cameras caught him staring into space, whispering, "I just don't know anymore," to assistant coach Johnny Bryant. Julius Randle skipped post-game interviews. Emmanuel quickly posted a cryptic TikTok captioned, "Sometimes silence speaks the loudest. Face without mouth." And Mitchell Robinson, he flat-out tweeted, "They don't want us here, cool." The unity that once defined the Knicks, gone. Even Jalen Brunson, usually the calm in the storm, showed signs of frustration. In a moment caught by sideliner mics, Brunson muttered to Thibodeau during a timeout, "Feels like nobody knows what the plan is anymore." And here's where the shocking reveal kicks in. According to a bombshell leak from a New York Post journalist, the AD trade talks weren't initiated by the Knicks at all. They were pushed by LeBron James himself. The King, seeing the Lakers crumbling, allegedly told the front office, "If you won't trade AD to a team that fits, I will make it happen myself." LeBron had apparently called AD's agent and suggested the Knicks as a perfect fit. Why? Because LeBron wants AD gone, and he wants the cap space to pull off his own plan, to team up with Bonnie James in his final NBA season, no matter what team drafts him. In other words, LeBron is playing 4D chess, and the Knicks are just pawns on his board. And now, with Mitchell's deal stalling, AD's name heating up, and fan pressure reaching critical mass, The Knicks front office is being backed into a corner. Do they double down and trade for both stars, risking the collapse of the current roster? Or do they pull back, admit the plan failed, and face the wrath of a fan base that was promised fireworks? Either way, the damage is already done. The locker room trust is broken. The media smell blood. And across the league, other teams are circling like vultures, hoping to steal assets from a franchise on the edge of implosion. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, one Knicks insider made a chilling statement off record. This isn't the big move, the real trade, it's still coming, and it's gonna blindside everyone. Boom. Want to know what the league never saw coming? The moment the rumors hit the mainstream media, the NBA universe erupted into chaos. Every podcast, every radio show, every morning sports segment was frothing at the mouth to dissect the madness unraveling in New York. The Knicks are about to blow it all up again, screamed a red-faced Stephen A. Smith on First Take, slamming his notes on the desk like a man possessed. This is what they do. They get one sniff of success and go full self-destruct mode. R.J. Barrett is your future. Julius Randle gave you his blood. And now, you want to throw it away for Anthony Davis' brittle knees and Donovan Mitchell's playoff disappearances. It's lunacy. And he wasn't alone. J.J. Redick, usually calm and analytical, dropped the filter completely on his podcast. This isn't basketball strategy. This is panic. The Knicks are being reckless. You don't destroy chemistry in January to chase headlines in February. On Twitter, hashtags began trending globally. Number save RJ, number Knicks front office outnumber trade Thibodeau, instead number Davis drama, but the fans. The fans were at war with each other. On one side, the ring or bust crowd, fans who are sick of waiting, who want a championship now and don't care who gets traded in the process. If it costs RJ and quickly to bring in AD and Mitchell, so be it, one viral post read. We've waited 50 years, win now, rebuild later. On the other, the loyalty over hype movement was gaining momentum. We finally built something real, something homegrown, and we're about to sell it for names. We're the Knicks, not the Lakers. Stop chasing stars and start respecting the process. Knicks fan pages were splintering. Entire YouTube channels were built overnight just to cover the meltdown. One channel, Knicks Truth Zone, released a video titled, "The KNICKS are destroying everything inside the betrayal of RJ, RANDLE, and the locker room." It hit 1.2 million views in under 24 hours. Meanwhile, NBA legends chimed in with their own shade. Charles Oakley went on IG Live, visibly heated. "They don't know how to treat their players, man. I've said it before. They'll use you up and ship you out. RJ ain't the problem, the suits are." Shaquille O'Neal, laughing on inside the NBA, took a dig. "You know what Knicks stands for? Not in contention still." Even Magic Johnson, unprompted, tweeted, "Winning in New York requires more than talent. It requires chemistry. Be careful." But things truly spiraled when players around the league started chiming in. Damian Lillard liked a tweet that said, "RJ Barrett deserves better." Kyle Kuzma tweeted, "Knicks really doing all this and still gone be a second-round exit, loudly crying face." Tree Young, always trolling Knicks fans, posted an image of popcorn and the caption, "This drama better than Netflix." And then, boom. ESPN breaks the story. Mitchell Robinson, apparently blindsided by trade rumors involving him to the Bulls, has requested a private meeting with management. A source claims he told the team, "If I'm not part of the future, say it to my face." And then came the coldest quote yet. A leaked group chat from a Knicks staffer posted anonymously to a subreddit. "We're not just losing players. We're losing the locker room. No one trusts anyone anymore." The Knicks' reputation, already fragile, was in free fall, but that's not all. The Knicks' biggest free agent target this summer, OG Anunoby. His agent quietly leaked that OG was reconsidering long-term plans based on recent instability in the organization. Translation: nobody wants to commit to a circus. Meanwhile, Spike Lee, yes, the Spike Lee, was caught by a TMZ camera outside Madison Square Garden. When asked what he thought of the trade madness, he paused, gave a look of pure disgust, and said, "Same script, different year." That clip alone went viral, 17 million views, and every top comment was the same: "The Knicks will never learn." And just when the Knicks thought they could ride out the storm, a final dagger dropped. A leaked email from within the Knicks organization surfaced, one that shook the fanbase to its core. In the email, a senior advisor allegedly wrote, "We're not rebuilding, we're rebranding. Star power wins headlines and headlines drive revenue. Winning is secondary." The backlash was immediate. Knicks fans flooded the team's Instagram with clown emojis. Number boycott MSG began trending on Twitter. A Change.org petition to remove Leon Rose hit 50,000 signatures in 6 hours. And then came the death blow to any unity still remaining in the fanbase. R.J. Barrett's father posted this on X, formerly Twitter. "My son gave that city everything. Respect was never returned. Shame." 10 words, that's all it took. 10 words to ignite the fuse. 10 words to fracture whatever was left of the Knicks fanbase into rage, despair, and disbelief. But here's the thing, it's not over. Because while the Knicks were imploding in real time, a third party was watching, waiting, and making moves. Just when the Knicks world couldn't spiral any further, a new player entered the battlefield. Not a free agent, not a disgruntled star. A rival, a threat, a predator, and they came with one goal: to steal everything the Knicks built and destroy their future before it even began. The Brooklyn Nets. That's right, the same franchise the Knicks mocked for years. The same team who lost James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant in spectacular disaster. The same team fans said would fade into irrelevance. But behind the scenes, the Nets were watching, calculating, and preparing to strike. And as the Knicks were cannibalizing themselves in public, the Nets made their move. A report broke late last night from an independent sports journalist, verified screenshots and all. Hearing strong rumblings that the Nets are targeting both OG Anunoby and Immanuel Quickley in a shocking multi-team deal. Sources say Nets are leveraging Knicks chaos to scoop up assets for pennies. The internet froze. Immanuel Quickley to the Nets. OG Anunoby ditching the Knicks before he even signs and walking across town to Barclays. This wasn't just business. This was betrayal. According to insiders, while the Knicks fumbled negotiations trying to land Mitchell and Davis, the Nets were quietly contacting agents, whispering promises of stability, opportunity, and, most importantly, revenge. A Nets front office source allegedly said, "Let the Knicks sell the soul of their franchise. We'll take the pieces they leave behind and build the next dynasty." Barclays Center was preparing for war, and the first battle, convincing OG Anunoby that he was never truly wanted in New York. Sources say the Nets sent a covert message through back channels. "You're not the centerpiece, you're insurance. Come here and be the star." It worked. OG's agent leaked a chilling message. OG has not ruled out any opportunities, including staying in New York, just not necessarily as a Knick. Fire the drama had a body count. The Knicks were losing trust, players, and now control. And the NBA, they were watching like hyenas circling a wounded lion. The Heat, the Mavericks, the Kings, they all started calling. Suddenly, R.J. Barrett was being offered new lifelines. Quickley was being courted with guaranteed starting roles. And Julius Randle, he was ghosting people. One league executive dropped this. The Knicks lit a fire, and now every team's racing to roast marshmallows over the ashes. Meanwhile, MSG execs were panicking. Ticket sales were stalling. Sponsors were asking questions, and the Knicks brand becoming a meme again. A leaked internal Slack message from Knicks marketing read, "Pause all campaigns. We're in damage control mode. No player promos until further notice." The Knicks weren't just losing the trade war. They were losing the locker room, the city, the brand, everything. And then came the final, jaw-dropping twist. An anonymous NBA insider leaked a confidential email to Deadspin, an email allegedly sent to Knicks ownership from a high-level advisor. The subject line, "Red alert, Brunson is considering requesting a trade, boom." If this email is real, and if Jalen Brunson, the heart, soul, and savior of the Knicks rebuild, is even thinking about leaving, it's over. The Knicks don't just risk missing the playoffs. They risk falling into a decade of darkness. No Mitchell, no AD, no RJ, no Brunson, no locker room, nothing but headlines and heartbreak. And yet, even now, the Knicks are still pressing forward with trade talks. Still chasing stardom, still pretending they're in control. But deep down, the question is clear. Is this the biggest Knicks collapse of the decade? Or just the beginning of something even worse? And more importantly, what if none of these trades happen at all? What if the leaks were never real? What if this entire circus was a smokescreen for something even bigger? Because buried beneath all the noise is one final rumor, whispered by a scout, echoed by a veteran assistant coach, repeated in private team circles. A name no one expected. A top 5 NBA player, frustrated, restless, quietly requesting privacy, and possibly on the move. But to who, and why is New York suddenly backing off? There's something darker at play, and what happens next could change the league forever. This isn't just a trade rumor. This isn't just another Knicks meltdown. This is a full-blown reckoning. The New York Knicks are standing at the edge of the abyss, one decision away from rewriting their legacy or torching it beyond repair. And you, the fans, the loyal soldiers of this cursed and beloved franchise, are witnessing history unfold in real time. So now we turn to you. Should the Knicks trade the core for stars like Anthony Davis and Donovan Mitchell? Was gutting the locker room worth the risk, or the biggest betrayal in franchise history?